but out of the poignancy and the power of the fact that he was singing his heart out and, singing God's praises and singing all about Jesus. And he knew, I'm sure he was thinking about his wife. And, and I was also thinking, one day your funeral's going to be here, but that's okay. That's okay. So there was poignancy and joy as well. And I also remember that, Dennis was a traditional Anglican, and he knew his prayer book, but he wasn't, he wouldn't pray how maybe I would pray, making things up. But in his last years, he did. So when we would go and visit, and he'd say, well, who's going to say grace then? And then someone would say grace, and then he always would add things. He would add, just a few little sentences. So it's his way of making our prayers in a limited, controlled way that he could add a few things. And Amanda was saying recently, and if you didn't say amen fervently enough, you were in trouble. Amen. And then lockdown came, and he couldn't do online church, and he couldn't get the emails that his church was sending him, and it was a tough time. And his carers were looking after him, but he was isolated when it came to faith. And we, of course, were not allowed to visit. And then as soon as Boris said that, I can't remember exactly the words, but basically we worked out that we were not allowed to visit him, but his gardener would be. We didn't have a gardener, so we decided we'd become his gardeners. And we literally put on gardening clothes and took a car full of garden implements.
We did actually do some gardening.
We got stopped. There were loads of buckets and there was all sorts. So we drove 2 hours to do gardening. But we did do gardening, but we also would take a picnic and we'd sit outside, and if the weather was good enough, you sat outside or just inside the French windows. But we'd asked him, would you like communion? And I expected him to say no, because we weren't priests and we weren't going to do it properly. He said, oh yes. So we took some nice china and had a little miniature of port. Let's do it, punch. I got a tiny little bit of bread on a nice little plate, and we did a socially distanced, very hygienic outdoor communion, and he just loved it. And we did it a few times on our gardening visits, and then eventually we were allowed to visit as his family rather than the gardeners. And I think since the lockdown and that communion, we would talk about faith more, and because he didn't really talk about it that much, but he did in his final years, and he became more and more confident that he knew where he was going, heaven was promised, he was looking forward to it. He knew he was loved by God. And at Christmas time, we were there, Amanda was there, so this last Christmas. And it was the last days that he was well. He began to decline very quickly after that. And we talked about 2023, New Year, and he every time we said it, he just went, no. He knew he wanted to stop now. He was, I played enough, and I want to go. And indeed he did, within 3 months he'd gone. And we're grateful for that swiftness. But before he had to go to hospital, Amanda was there, and they would watch online church in Australia. He was very, very keen. And he didn't normally like technology, but he could do online church, he got quite wizzy, didn't he? Online communion, he was cool. And then finally, when he came up to Nottingham and was in a care home just for a week or two, and all of us were able to visit him in small groups, and we were able to pray with him and read psalms to him and play rutter hymns to him and sing How Great Thou Art and things like that, and just preparing him for eternity, and it was just really special. So that's the faith bit, and then there's some slides up there that said bonkers. He was bonkers. I think you all know that he was absolutely amazing caring for Veronica over many years when she was infirm. He was dedicated, he was patient, he was caring, he was sacrificial. And when she died, he missed her terribly, and he continued to miss her all his life. And every time he walked in the door, he'd go, yoo-hoo, because that's what he used to say, to call out to her. But something had flicked inside him, and it was clearly, okay, now's the time to have fun. Because he kind of had to, miss out on some fun because life had been limited. And he was determined to have fun, and all the children will have memories of, okay, we're going out, and it'll be cold, or it'll be wet. He said, are you going to wear a coat? No! Or, all right then, what are you going to do your coat up? No! It's going to get wet, it's going to get cold, and he's in his 80s, and all right. And he had a mobility scooter known as a Quingo, and he was wild. Absolutely wild. He's destroyed a lot of things. He was always such an English gentleman, but when it came to Quingo, it was basically stuff it, I'm off. So there's a bit of Exeter Cathedral, the door's got a chunk missing. We went to Powderham Castle and all got scraped. There was the Marks and Sparks naked mannequin that fell on top of him, which we thought was absolutely hysterical. And also in the mud, we would go to the woods and he would go through the mud and the puddles, obviously with his coat not done up, really fast. And the electric battery is right at the bottom of the Quingo. Okay, it got itself, we had it. He never did, he got away with it. And it was just great to see him having fun. So yeah, I have memories of, the blackberrying. He loved blackberrying. He would go out on his scooter down the lane to go blackberrying. And one day he called us and said, I went blackberrying and on the scooter, and then I got up and I stretched and then I fell over. So he's in a field. And I couldn't get up. I thought, well, quite a nice place to die. Hopefully someone will come along. Unfortunately, someone did come along and helped him get up. Otherwise, that would have been his end. But yeah, he was going to get the most out of his last years, and it was great. And I loved it very much.
Can I just add